Hi, can you write the short date, today's date, please, and the learn objective? Okay, pause the video while you do that, and then press play when you're done. Right, carrying on from the last lesson, we're going to be looking at ratios, but this time more sort of word problem based. Okay, last time you sort of simplified. So say for example you had that ratio, you simplified it and you're making it smaller. So you say what goes into both 12 and 9, and it's 3. So you divide both by 3. That's the highest common factor. Okay, so that becomes 3. How many times is 3? So that would be your simplified ratio. Okay. Now, actually, what we're going to be doing today, you can also sort of expand ratios out, and this is how we tend to do our ratio word problems that expand it out. So say, for example, you had a ratio of 3 to 2. So this could be there are 3 girls for every 2 boys in a class. Okay. Now, it could tell you then that there are 15 girls. 15 girls. Now, notice I put that in the girls column. Remember, with the ratio, we must put these 2 dots in. And from there, I can work out how many boys there are. Okay, so the ratio 3 girls to 2 boys. Then there's 15 girls. So this is how I do this. I can times that. How am I getting from the 3 to the 15? I'm timesing by 5. How am I getting from the 2? I'm timesing by 5. So I get 10 boys. Okay, 10 boys. So by expanding out a ratio, I can work out how many of each there are. Okay, so the ratio in a box of chocolates for milk chocolates, there are 4 milk chocolate sweets compared to 1 dark chocolate sweets. How it should be, of course. Milk chocolate being much nicer. Okay. Now they could ask you. So say for example there are 7 dark chocolate sweets. How many milk chocolate sweets would there be? You notice because it's 7 dark chocolates, I put them in the dark column. Okay, so again, how I go from here, I say how am I getting from the 1 to the 7? What am I timesing by? 1 times 1 is 7. 1 times 7 is 7. So you do the same on the other side, timesing by 7. 7 4s 28. So that tells me, okay, there will be 28 milk chocolate for 7 dark chocolates. Okay, and in fact that box of chocolates, the total is 35. There are 35 chocolates in there in total, aren't there? Okay, because sometimes if I add up the ratios, that tells me how many there are in total. Okay, and actually I can also add this up here. 4 add 1 is 5. And what you'll notice is that is also times 7, isn't it? That is also times 7. Okay, let's quickly do one more like that before we go into sort of a more written, a more word-based question. So to make paint, I want to make purple paint. Okay, so I have to mix 3 liters of red, and if I mix 2 liters, let's do a different number. If I do 1 liter of blue, that will give me 4 liters of purple. Okay, because if you think about it, I'm mixing the red and the blue to make purple. So 3 liters of red, 1 liter of blue will give me 4 liters of purple. Okay, so that tells me the ratio there is 3 red to 1 blue. Okay, now if I wanted to make, say for example I wanted to make 40 liters of purple, okay, how would I be able to work out how much red and how much blue I need? Okay, I want 40 liters of purple. Okay, I'm just going to write that a bit further down. Sorry, 40 liters of purple. So if you think about it, I'm going to need this amount of red and this amount of blue to equal 40 liters of purple. So this is our purple here, isn't it? It's our total. It's our total. So I need to make 40 litres. So what I need to do here, I add up my ratios, so that becomes a 4. Okay, so how am I getting from there to there? 4 to 40, I times 4 by 10. So again, I do the same here, times by 10, times by 10, so I get 30, 10 and 40, isn't it? So I need 30 litres of red, I need 10 litres of blue, and I need 4 in order to get me 40 litres of purple. And that's how ratios work, isn't it? We have a basic ratio and we'll expand it out in order to get an answer. Okay, let's have a look at this question here, please. So a lot of the ratio questions that we're going to be looking at will be coming in the form of word questions. Okay, so let's have a little look at this. Okay, John did a survey of different coloured cars he saw. For every 5 silver coloured cars, he saw 3 red coloured cars. Okay, he saw 15 silver cars. How many red cars did he see? Now, it's a lot of words, but really it's quite simple in terms of what information, what is our key information. So the key information here is the ratio. For every 5 silver, he saw 3 red. 3 red. So the first thing we do on any word problem is to write down that ratio. Okay, write down that ratio. Then let's have a look at the next information. He saw 15 silver coloured cars, so I'm going to put that in that column. Okay, so in there, and from there I can work out how many reds he got. Okay, so how am I getting from the silver 5 to the 15? Timesing by 3, and then I can do the same here. I have to do the same there. So that means he saw 9 red cards. Your answer to this one, if you were doing this question, we would write it exactly like this, and then your answer underneath 9 red cars. Okay. Now, the numbers could easily change here. Okay, the numbers, because you may have seen. Okay, we could go for every 4 silver coloured cars, he saw 3. Okay, and we could say he saw. Let's go with 15 red cars. Okay, so the same rule applies. That all we have to do is write down our ratio. For every 4 silver coloured, he saw 3 red coloured. Please, once you write the ratio down and see it in front of you, it's so much easier. That's the first step. Okay, now he saw 15 red cars, so I'm going to put 15 in the red column. Okay, so from there I can find out the silver. How am I getting from the 3 to the 15? 3 times 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I'm timesing that by 5. If I times this side by 5, I have to do the same on the other. Times it by 5. 4 times 5, 20. 20 silver cars. Okay, so we're expanding out our ratio. When you come to do your own, okay, write in the ratio, label it, and this is how I want you to set them out. Okay, right, let's give you a few questions to have a go at yourself. Okay, right, some questions here. Okay, 3 questions. So the ratio of boys to girls is 3 girls to every 2 boys. That's the ratio. Okay, write the G and the B as well, and go from there. Then the 10 underneath in the boys column, etc. Right, have a go at those 3, please. Have a go at those 3, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, off you go. Pause the video. Press play when you've answered them, please. Press play when you've answered them. Right, okay, let's have a little look. We're going to quickly go over those. So the first one, the ratio, this is what you should have. The ratio of girls, number 1. So the girls, there were 3 girls to every 2 boys. Okay, and there were 10 boys. So the 10 goes in the boys column. We're timesing that by 5. So we do the same on the other side. Times it by 5. 15. How many girls are in the class? 15 girls. Okay, So you should, yours should look like that, please. Okay, this is how we need to set them up. Let's have a look at the next one. Number 2. In a car park, for every 2 vans, there are 5 cars. Okay. Right, and then we have underneath, I can see there are 16 vans, so that goes in that column there. So now we can work out how many cars there are in comparison. How many 2 times what is 16? 2, 4, until I get to 8. Do the same here, times 8, so we got 40 cars. And I'm just looking at question 3, and I can see I've actually done a question you can't answer. Okay, because they oh no, you can. Sorry, you can. Apologies. So the ratio is 3 to 7. So salted, cheese and onion. Okay, there are 35 cheese and onion. Okay, so how am I going from there to there? I'm timesing it by 5. Times the same there by 5. 7 times 5 is 35. So here I get 15. So the answer would be 15 salted. Okay. Right, hopefully that was okay. Let's mark those, please, as we're going along. And if you've got a problem with them, try and work it out again for yourself. Okay. So let's look at it. Oh no, that's the same one. Let's look at a slightly different. Let's look at a different type of question. So here, John has 30 sweets. Okay, sorry, I think this is right. John has 30 sweets. For every 2 hard centers, there are 3 soft centers. Okay, how many hard centers are there? So again, first thing we're going to do is write down the ratio for every 2 hard centers. So I'm going to do 2 hard and 3 soft. Okay, now on this one, so we need to find, it's not telling us how many hard centers or soft centers there are. It's telling us he has 30 sweets. So I know this, the total amount of sweets he has. So I know this number here plus this number will equal 30. This is my total. And this is where we have our total column. Okay. So in order to find out how many hard centers, how many soft centers, I'm going to add up my ratios, and that comes to 5. Okay, so I know in my ratio the total is 5 and the total amounts of sweets are 30. So I'm going to see what do I times that by. 5 times what is 30? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 36. So I times that by 6. So I do the same here. Times by 6, times by 6. So that becomes 12. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 6 is 18. And what you can see here, 12 plus 18 is 30. So there are 12 hard centers, 18 soft centers, and 30 in total. So it's asking how many hard centers are there? 18 hard centers. Okay, and again, these numbers can change. Okay, so it could be the ratio. It could be that here's 40 sweets, and there are 3 hard centers for every 7 soft centers, and it could be asking how many soft centers are there. But it doesn't really matter, we just do exactly the same every time. For every 3 hard centers, there are 7 soft centers, so the first thing I do is write down my ratio. 3 hard to 7 soft. Okay, writing down the ratio. It's telling me how many sweets there are altogether, so I know that the amount of hard plus the amount of soft centers will give me a total of 40. Okay, so what I do here on my total column, I add up my ratio. Okay, so that comes to 10. So I can see how am I getting from the 10 to the 40, timesing by 4. So I times each one by 4, don't I? 7 4s 28 times 4 is 12. And let's have a look. 12 and 28 equals 40. Therefore, how many soft centers? And when the soft centers, 28 soft centers. Okay, right. Hopefully that became, so I'm having to rush them a little bit. Have a go at these, please. Have a go at these. Remembering the same rule applies in that the first thing we do is write down our ratio. 4 girls to 1 boy. And then we have to do the total. We add across, don't we, to find the totals. Have a go at those, please. Pause the video while you have a go at that, please. And then press play when you've done them. So questions 5, 6 and 7. Sorry, 4, 5 and 6. Right, let's quickly go through those. Okay, so question number 4. Question number 4. The ratio is 4, the girls. So there are 4 girls to every 1 boy, isn't it? 4 girls to every 1 boy in the gymnastics club. And in total, there are 30 members. So I need to do that. That equals 30 members. So I'm going to add along here is 5. This is my total column. So there we go, times 6. Okay, so if I times that by 6 as well, I get 24 girls times 6. 6 boys, 24. And what was the question? How many boys are there? Answer is 6. 6 boys. Okay. Question number 5. A rugby team played 28 matches. So for every game they win, so they win 4 to every 3 they lose. Okay, and so we know we're going to add up that to get to 7. These are the bits we need to know, and then we know that the total amount of games they played is 28. How am I getting from this? 7, 14, 21, 28 times them by 4. So I times this by 4 times 16 times that by 4, 12. 6 and 12, and it all adds up, doesn't it? Okay, so the question is asking how many games did they win? They won 16. Okay, and then the last one, it's a 3-parter. Okay, but the same rules apply. There's the first one I've done with the 3-parter, so hopefully that didn't scare us too much. So number 6, so the red, 5 parts red, 2 parts blue, blue, 2 parts, and 1 part yellow. Okay, so we just write 3 across there. Okay, and we need to make 40 litres of paint. 40 litres. So again, this is going to be our 40 litres. We need to know what these ones are here, don't we? Okay, we're going to add up along here 5, 6, 7, and 1 is 8. How are we getting from there to there? 8, 12, 8, 16, 24, 32, 32, 40. So we're timesing by 5. So we need to times each one by 5. 5 times 5 times 25. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 5 is 15. And you can see when I add that up, it equals 40. So how much of each colour? You need 25 litres of red, 10 litres of blue, 5 litres of yellow. Okay, hopefully that was okay. What I'd like us to do, please, to finish off, and actually this sort of, just have a go at these, because they are quite tough questions. They're quite tough. I'd like you to have a go at, and don't worry too much if you can't do it, but have a go on page, well, I've got the page number here with me, hang on. Sorry. On page 99. In the book, page 99. Could you just have a go, please, at 6, 7, and 8? Quite tricky, but give it your best shot. Okay, I'm not going to be too worried if you can't do it, but I think for some of us we should be able to do that, and other of us we should be able to do some of them. And then for the extension, do the think, please. Do the think. Okay, right. Finish those off. Okay, well done, everyone. Okay, and we will actually, this is the last step, we'll be moving on to our textbook 3 next time. Okay, so textbook 3 next time. That'll do us for today. All right, well done. Good luck. Bye.